Now we come on to the most common form of magic to repel. Sarf, magic to repel. This is called Al-Mutsallats Al-Ghazali. It's alleged to have come from Al-Imam Al-Ghazali, and we believe that Al-Imam Al-Ghazali is free from this. Because whatever you say about Al-Imam Al-Ghazali, and he made a lot of tawbah towards the latter part of his life regarding the ilm al-kalam that he fell into, but Al-Imam Al-Ghazali was free from this. This is absolute kufr, from the worst form of kufr. All of the magic of sarf comes back to this. All of the magicians who teach breaking families and breaking people apart, they teach it through this. 9 squares. Write down the number 9. 9 squares. Same one you showed me on your phone. Everyone's getting the Al-Mutsallats Al-Ghazali out now. So a lot of you will have seen this before. The numbers will add up normally to 9 or 15. 276, 816, 357, 951, 438. The story of this is it was said to have been found in India by Al-Imam Al-Ghazali. And they add up to 15, and sometimes they add up to 9. And the number 9 is there, and because there are 9 squares, and the number 15 is there. What do these numbers work out? If we go back to the abjad, hawal, hutti, kallim, what do we work out? Number 2 is ba. Number 9 is ta. Number 4, dal. So we have the first name from one of the muluk of the jinn, one of the kings of the jinn, and his name is Batad. What does the magician do who wants to do this, who can't write? He wants to call upon Batad, this shaitan. He wants him to do work for him. He wants him to send his soldiers. So he tries to write Batad, but he can't write. What does he do? He takes the knot and he says Batad, Batad, Batad. So he does the same thing, the same magic, but he does it by saying the name over the knot and blowing upon the knot. Number 7, Zai. Number 5, Ha. Number 3, Jim. Zahaj. Another name from the names of the shayat. So the person who wants to break up between husband and wife, he takes his knots, he makes his knots like this, and he ties his knots, and he ties it tight, and he says, Batad, Zahaj, Wa. And then he ties another knot. How many knots is he going to tie? 9 or 15. 9 or 15 knots. Over each knot, he's going to mention the names of those shayateen as an alternative to writing down the things that he's going to write down. This was given to me today and I had no idea about it. I heard about it last night and I didn't ask them to bring it. The brothers brought it for me. 6 of Al-Mutsallats Al-Ghazali found in dirt. Why are they found in dirt? Because the person, they calculated his name to be a person who was turabi. He was associated with dirt. And here we have the numbers, all of them or most of them adding up to 15. The same thing, the same names of the same shayateen. Look through your phones, and a lot of you have got experience of magic before. You'll find the same stuff. We're going to go through some amulets in a moment. Now we come on to the number 7. And the number 7, do you remember what we said about Babylon? Who remembers about what we said about Babylon, the ancient magic of Babylon? The 7 stars of Babylon. These are the 7 stars of Babylon. And again, each of the 7 stars of Babylon has a symbol, and each of the symbols corresponds to a letter from the Arabic language. So what does the person do who wants to do the sihr, who he can't write? He says, Ahtam fashad, Ahtam fashad, Ahtam fashad. And he blows on the knots. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. You will see these in your ta'weed. Go through your phones and all the ta'weed that you have. If it was done for protection, bringing people together, causing you to love someone, you'll find on it Ahtam Fashad, or the numbers that calculate to Ahtam Fashad, or the symbols that calculate. Same symbols, same system. There are 7 symbols, 7 stars of Babylon. Each one of the symbols represents one of the stars. And each one of some of the kings or the leaders of the jinn has what? A name that corresponds to one of the 7 stars of Babylon. MashaAllah, they don't stop, subhanAllah. They named themselves after the 7 stars of Babylon. So that when you want to call upon them, you can call upon all 7 or you can call upon one of them. وَيَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ مَا لَا يَنْفَعُهُمْ وَلَا يَضُرُّهُمْ. They call upon other than Allah that which doesn't benefit them and it doesn't harm them, subhanAllah. Look at what they do. So here they have these symbols and these characters here. And the characters they meet, so you have Lam, Mim, Qaf, Fa, Nun, Jim, Lam. That's another alternative lettering. And you'll see that in a moment, what it corresponds to. So here we have these names of these shayateen. The first name of the shayateen is, and I can't pronounce them, Lat Hatil. The second star of Babylon, the shaitan who has taken his name after it, is Hat Hatil, Hat Yatil, Hat Batil, Ha Hat Tatil, Hat Latil, Ha Tatil. And all of the numbers and the letters calculate to the same table of letters, the same symbols, and it's the same names of the shayateen. So you open up a ta'weed and you see Lah Tatil, Qah Tatil, Mah Tatil, Tah Tatil. It was done to preserve somebody, to make someone love somebody through the 7 stars of Babylon. It's not complicated, ya ikhwan. These people are stupid. It's not complicated, but they have their system. And wallah, I said to you, ikhwan, we took Shaykh Adil Al-Muqbil hafidhahullah to Cornwall. And the same thing in the English magic in Cornwall, the same thing. The same names, the same stars, the same symbols. We said, where is this from? He said, it's from a village in Devon. Not from the Arabian Peninsula. Latatatatatitil, or whatever his name is. He has a presence in a village in Devon from a people who grew up in Christianity, and some of them were pagans. Subhanallah. Kufr is one religion. So here is the table of these shayateen and the letters they write. So when you find these broken up letters are not just random. They're intended to spell one of the names of the shaitan, or they're intended to give you numbers, and the numbers calculate to a number related to sihr. And they're written inside of a seal, a khatam. Might be a triangle, might be a circle, might be a square. We're going to develop this and look at it in a moment. This is an example of putting it in a well, putting it in the sea, and they did this in Jeddah, subhanallah. They dredge the sea in Jeddah after every Hajj. They dredge the sea in Jeddah after every Hajj. They send divers out and they bring back sihr, piles and piles and piles of sihr. People came to Hajj and they put sihr in the sea in Jeddah. Why? Because they want to get closer to disgracing the word of Allah Azza wa Jal. I want to do it in Makkah. I want the people of Makkah to feel, I want the shayateen to appreciate how much I hate the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal. In the air, on the foot of a bird, tied to a pole, tied to a tree. Of course, I asked the Shaykh regarding the ignorant magician, the one who can't write. Does he do earth and air and water? Perhaps the shaitan tells him where to put it, and perhaps he doesn't do it at all. Some of them will just put everything in the ground because they're not learned. The ones who are more learned, they will try to make their sihr more effective by putting it in the place where it affects the person. And all of it is batil, all of it is lies. We're not earth and fire and water. Allah Azza wa Jal created us from what He created us from, and it is known, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who knows how the people are affected and afflicted. But the magicians, this is the belief that they hold. Now we have some numbers, ya ikhwan. The number of knots, or the number of pins, or the number of eggs, or the number of stars, or the number of whatever else they have, or the number of squares, or the numbers that add up, or the letters that add up to numbers in the squares. What is each one for? How is each one done? We said that 7 was related to the 7 stars of Babylon, was done to protect. 9 was done to harm, to drive people away, to break up between husband and wife. 11 was done to kill. 11 was done to kill. 3 was done for medicine. Medicinal purposes, and usually for the sahir himself, he has a bad back, so he ties 3 knots, 3 numbers, 3 letters, which works out to the name of one shaitan made up of 3 letters and 3 numbers. It's all interlinked. 5 to protect the magician from the shaitan, and it doesn't protect him from anything. And 15 we said is the same as what number? 9. 15 is the same as 9. So if you find the ta'weez, let's count. Here we have squares made up of 9. And we have all sorts of little pictures and squares made up of 9, and each of the numbers either add up to 9 or they add up to 15. So this was done to separate between a person, to break up a family, to send some jinn away. What do you do if you find a mix of numbers? 7 and 9 together. We said they can, the 7 is for a reason and the 9 is for a reason. The 7 is to bring the girl he loves to him, and the 9 is to make his wife leave him. And like this the magicians do. 3 for medicine, 5 for protection, 5 for protecting the magician himself, 7 for bringing people together, causing love, bringing people into each other, 9 to tear people apart, 11 to kill. And the 11 that was to kill, if you can see this picture, it's a picture of a comb. And it's tied 11 times with 11 knots, and the hair from the comb, the mishata, is tied 11 times. This is the example of the misht wa mishata that was done to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. 11 knots with his hair from his beard and his head sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from his comb tied. The comb is separated into 11 separated groups, and each one is tied with 11 knots, and the hair is tied around. And Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. The number of knots, we don't have a firm proof for it, but we know that misht wa mishata, and from the experience when we found misht wa mishata before, we found that these combs are tied 11 times with 11 knots, and it's to kill a person, and they can't harm anyone except with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we come to how do you destroy each of the ta'awidh. And I know this is probably going to perhaps for certain brothers cause a degree of controversy, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to say what I'm telling you now is what Shaykh Adil bin Tahir Al-Muqbil told me. And the Shaykh has spent his entire life opening magic, and his entire, subhanAllah, that's his job, day in, day out. His job is to find magicians and open magic. So what I'm going to tell you is what the Shaykh told us. That's it. Okay?
Can I ask a very quick question about this topic before we move on? So this is almost like a code of conduct, is it? Where they're kind of signing this kind of contract and they're making this amulet or this ta'weez. But I mean, why do they care? Why do they have to abide by this? Why can the magic be broken by destroying a bit of paper? So
why do they have to abide by this?
Yeah, I mean, like if the shayateen are intent on destroying someone, why do they even bother? Why do they have to do that?
Why do they even bother? The shaitan is intended. It's a very good question. And the answer to this is that sihr is a knowledge. If it was a simple case of asking the shaitan to go and kill that person, that would be how it was done. But instead, sihr is a knowledge. It's a science. And this is what they know. This is the science that they teach the people. And you can download, unfortunately, books of magic from the internet. Same stuff, same numbers. This is what they do. And Allah Azza wa Jalla has decreed that this is how they were taught. This is how the magicians were taught. This is the knowledge that they found, whether they found it under the throne of Sulaiman, as some of the Mufassirin say, or they found it from some of the angels whom Allah sent as a test and a trial. But this is how they found it. And in reality, all of it is falsehood. In reality, none of it has any real significance in terms of us as Muslims. It doesn't have any real significance. But this is what the magicians do, and this is how they work. And this will help you to interpret what the ta'weed is for. First of all, this ta'weed here, what is it for? 7 stars. It's for? To bring people together for love. It's there to burn. Why is this stuff there to burn? The person is supposedly fiery, according to the magician. Yeah. When you find this, what should you never, ever, ever do? Burn it. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Why? Because this is the sihr that is designed to be activated by burning. Any sihr you find, we're going to talk about in a moment. If you don't know, tawakkul ala Allah, bismillah. Do what you have to do. But when it's clear that it's to be burnt, you don't burn it. What do you think you do instead? Recite some of the ayat over some water. Put the sihr from the burning and whatever into the water. If you can dry the paper out afterwards, you may be able to burn it afterwards. But the main thing is the bukhur, the incense and the powder needs to go in the water. Where are you going to throw the water away? Somewhere where people don't go. Somewhere, throw it, over in the corner of a park where nobody goes, in a rubbish ground. Throw it somewhere where nobody goes. Just in case, just as ihtiyat, in case someone is harmed by the magic that is taken into the water, throw it away. Don't put it, in the middle of your kiddie's park where all the children play. just as, you know, a precaution. I'm not saying there's an evidence from the sunnah that it will harm, but I'm just saying to you as a precaution, put it where don't throw it, you know, where someone's going to drink from it, or where it's going to go be mixed into people's drinking water and stuff like that, inshallah. Okay. This is brass or metal. How do you think we're going to dispose of this? Going to grind it or sand it down so that the letters are no longer visible. And if we want to put it in the water, we can put it in the water. But we need to grind down the letters. So you need to take a Dremel multi-tool or a file or, you know, a piece of sandpaper and just get sanding until the letters can no longer be read. Again, it's not my opinion. It's not Muhammad Tim, Sheikh Adil bin Tahir Al-Muqbil, who is our Sheikh, our expert in removing magic. That's his job. He's the senior guy in Saudi for doing this. So this is what he says: file it down till the letters don't show anymore. When you have these pouches, you need to open the pouch. Pliers, scissors, open the pouch. Be careful not to drop the stuff that's in it, so you want to destroy it completely, insha'Allah ta'ala. How generally do we destroy then what is not to be burnt? It's not burning magic, and it's not brass magic. The Shaykh, he said, we burn it while reciting over Surah Al-Fatiha and the last two the last two surahs of the Quran, Al-Falaq and An-Nas. And he uses the evidence for this: would you not have burned it? I asked the Shaykh, and again I'm repeating you what the Shaykh said. I said, Shaykh, we have some of our beloved brothers who perform Ruqyah, and they say don't burn the ta'weez, because the magic may afflict you and people don't know what to burn and what not to burn. The Shaykh said, هَذَا جَهَل وَبَاطِل. He said, this is ignorance and falsehood. That's what the Shaykh said, not me. That's what the Shaykh said. So he said it is to be burned, and he used the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari and Muslim from the hadith of Aisha, would you not have burned it? And no doubt some of our mashayikh and our ulama, from our mashayikh we love fi sabilillah, they say not to burn it, and they say just to put it in the Ruqyah water. My advice to you is to follow the opinion of Sheikh Adil. And you guys, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not meaning disrespect to anyone, okay? People advise not to burn it. Alhamdulillah, they have their evidence and they have a reason behind it. But my statement to you, Aisha radiallahu anha said, would you not have burned it? The Prophet said, Aisha, don't. He didn't say, Aisha, what do you mean burn it? You're going to harm the people. He just said, no, I didn't burn it because Allah Azza wa Jal saved me from the effects, and it was broken through the Ruqyah that the Prophet was done upon him, and the reading that Jibreel did and what the angels did. It's very important that you also be aware of what you are burning or what you are putting in water, whatever you're doing with it, that you be aware of it. If it has things like menstrual blood on it, you're not going to recite and blow the Quran over it. So you're reciting and blowing. Bismillah, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ وَمِنْ شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ وَمِنْ شَرِّ النَّفَّثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ وَمِنْ شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ. You can blow at the end of the surah or after every ayah. Some of the narrations suggest, and they're all weak, but they suggest the Prophet ﷺ blew after every ayah, and some of them suggest that he blew after each surah. In any case, you blow. As soon as you see menstrual blood, feces, you're not going to read the Quran over it. You're going to put it into the water and clean out the feces. If it's the Quran, rose water, something, you know, nice smelling, to remove the feces from it, and then you're going to dry it out and you're going to burn it. Or for those people who dislike doing so, and we're going to, you know, give them their due respect, then we're going to say to them that this is you know, for them to do, they're going to leave it in the water. But at the end of the day, you need to remove the impurities. You don't take a sanitary towel that has menstrual blood in and say, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. You don't disgrace the Quran like that, okay? As soon as you see that, you clean it, you separate the papers, you put it in the water. The other thing you need to put in the waters for certain are things where the ink is soluble. The ink it like disintegrates in water. Put it in the water and make the ink wipe away, wash away, throw the water away and burn the paper if you wish to do so. You know, and I, like I said, I have mentioned that, you know, that we have some of our beloved brothers who do Ruqyah who don't burn, and they don't advise to burn. My advice and my strong feeling and my practice and what I've always done and advised the brothers to do is to burn everything on the condition that it is not there to be burnt, as in it contains bukhur or it contains incense, or on the condition that it's not soluble ink. The soluble ink you're going to put in the water first. And on the water as well. Falaq and Nas. If you want to read Al-Fatiha, Ayat al-Kursi, it's okay. But ideally, Falaq, Nas. Falaq, Nas. This is what was sent to the Prophet ﷺ to break the magic that was done to him, alayhi salatu wasalam. And we try to see what kind of things are written on some of them. Bear in mind, they only have to change one letter. Hitta, hinta. One letter to disgrace the Quran. Some of these ta'aweed are going to be proper, full-on sihr. Some of them are going to be less than that. And we got still to find time for the videos at the end, inshallah. So we're going to have videos of them destroying the magic and so on and so forth. See here the numbers? This is probably a surah of the Quran. This is probably here a surah of the Quran, but we can decipher the numbers. One is Alif, Ba, and then here we have Abjad, Abjad, A. So we have Abjad, which is the beginning of the magician's letters, and then we have A. And then we have some more stuff written. Maybe some of these words are words from the Quran and they're doing it to disgrace the words of the Quran. If it's 3 by 3, it's probably been done to break someone apart. If not, it may have been done for other reasons or simply just to disgrace the Quran and to seek nearness to the shaitan. Because not every ta'weed is the actual contract. Many of these ta'aweed are not the contract. What they are there for is they are there as a taqarrub to the shaitan, as a means of seeking a qurban to the shaitan, a means of sacrificing to the shaitan. Some of these have written on them that the woman, if she's pregnant, she ties it onto her left arm. Subhanallah, look at the belief of the people. Allah musta'an. Here we see, can you see it's like a diamond shape? I'm looking at the same screen as you, but I can see there's a diamond shape. Inside of the diamond shape there's a square. These are the seals of the magician. He does squares and shapes. The shapes are known as the seal of the magician.
This one in the court, this one had the Quran recited in the middle, written in the middle, and then in the corners it had Ya Jibreel, Ya Israfil, Ya Mikael, Ya Israel. So the same 8 names as the magic.
And the same names as we found where? In the English Museum of Magic in Cornwall. Subhanallah, the same thing. Do you see the letters there? Arabic letters written around the words, disgracing the ayat of Allah Azza wa Jal. Numbers with meanings the names of the shaitan. And then 7, whatever that is, Abjad, Hawaz, maybe Zai. Here, and you have all of these names. They can be ayat, they can be names of the shayateen. You can decode them yourself, you can calculate them. Maybe the magician used a different system. You can find the system, you can work it out if you need to do so. Why would you need to do so? In general, you just want to get rid of it. But for times you want to do so. Why? To prove to the miskeen who comes to you and says, this is Ismullah al-A'zam. This piece of paper is Allah's greatest name. The brother Abu Ibraheem, he mentioned the story of the Queen of Sheba. The Ifrit who offered to take the throne was beaten by who? Who took it instead? Who brought the throne instead of the Ifrit? A man who was given knowledge of the scripture. What knowledge of the scripture was he given? The Mufassirun say he was given the knowledge of Allah's greatest name, and he made dua by Allah's greatest name, and the throne appeared. So he made dua, and the greatest name of Allah, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best, is Allah, or as some of the scholars say, Al-Hayyul Qayyum, or Allahu la ilaha illahu, Al-Hayyul Qayyum, according to the difference of opinion amongst the scholars in this. And it seems the strongest is that the name Allah is Allah's greatest name. But they will tell you, I have a secret, Ismullah al-A'zam, Allah's greatest name. It was passed to my children, my grandfather, and he passed it to me, the awliya of Allah. This writing here, this squiggle is Allah's greatest name. It's not Allah's greatest name. Open a book, Aleister Crowley, names of the demons that I seek help from. The same name that he says is Allah's greatest name is in the book of Aleister Crowley under names of demons that I seek help from. Subhanallah. Because the magicians in this country, they don't fear Allah Azza wa Jal, they don't fear the people, and they don't fear the sword, so they openly tell people of the magic that they do. Look at all of these symbols here in the squares. All of them based on the same thing. All of these letters, they are not done without meaning. They have numbers. Work the letter backwards to the number. So here take the letter and calculate the letter backwards to the number. Add the numbers up. They probably add to a number that refers to what the magic is being done for, or they refers to the name of the shayateen, or they are breaking up the ayat of Allah letter by letter. So Qul huwallahu ahad, they write qaf, and then they write lam, ha, waw, hamza, ha, dal. They intend something different. They say, look, Qul huwallahu ahad. What they mean, the qaf is a name of a shaitan that begins with qaf. And the lam is the name of a shaitan that begins with lam. And they write their names in it. But they say, look, Qul huwallahu ahad. This is why we don't have these ta'aweed, ya ikhwan. SubhanAllah. And there are loads and loads of them. Here, look at the stars. What was this one done for? Tell me straight away. Look at this and tell me what it was done for. There is bringing people together in there because the stars are there. Potentially.
I'll tell you the story behind this. This amulet was... It's actually much longer. It was about actually 6 foot long when we, it was all folded up, but we took what we could. It was actually 6 foot long when we unfolded it. But this brother, he's a practicing brother, but his parents had gone to a magician, and this was to protect the house from shayateen, and it was also to bring the family members together. And when we destroyed this, after we destroyed this, the brother narrated to me that they would wake up in the morning and there would be blood smeared all over their doors. And of the walls of the house as well. So this was the more than likely the shayateen who was sent with this contract, or the shayateen that this was supposed to be protecting from, and who had been enforcing this. Once we had destroyed the amulet, then the shayateen were probably coming back to try and attack the brother and his family, and there was blood all over the walls, etc.
Okay, we continue. Circles. How many can you see inside the circle? 9 box of 9. Inside the circle there's a box of 9 squares. It was done to break a family apart, or to seal the breaking inside of a circle. So to break a certain part of the family apart, but not another part of the family. And we keep going and going and going. We have a wide collection. What I want to do in a moment is to go just to the videos to finish off, because the videos have some stuff in that you may come across. I'm just going to pick a few to show you. This one here, you can see the writing is soluble ink. It's light pink, it's soluble ink, so it needs to be put in the water and washed off before you get rid of it. Okay, that's one. I'm just going to go back here and just see if I pick out some certain ones for you. This one here, you can see there, can you see the squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's done to break up something, to push something away, to push somebody away. Have a look at this one, ya ikhwan. It's very, very difficult to see, but it's full of these words. What does that say? Iblis. Iblis, 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 Iblis. That poor miskeen person was probably told that that thing around their neck was Surah Al-Fatiha and Ayatul Kursi. I have Ayatul Kursi around my neck. It's my belief, it's Ayatul Kursi. Iblis, 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 Iblis. Subhanallah.
This also looks like a noose.
It looks like a noose, but they draw things. I think they've written it's as though they've written a khatam, a type of a seal, which is an open-ended circle, or a ha. And inside of it, they've written the word Iblis, and part of it is open. So Allah knows best what they intend by it. Let's go quickly, just to finish off in the next 5 minutes, very, very, very quickly before we begin the salah, regarding some of the videos of destroying the magic and the magic that was done. I'll try and show you the most important first, because I presume that we're going to run out of time. They're opening a box, and in the box, what we're going to see, yeah, not a lot, because you can see it very clear on the computer. You've got eggs in there. You've got bits of material, bits of cloth. You have a knife or a pin stuck through the inside of the bird. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? What would be easier is to move it onto here and just to describe you what we have. So we have a dead bird, and the bird, between the inside of the cavity of the bird and behind the wing of the bird, there is something stitched onto it. We have eggs. 1, 2, 3 plain white eggs, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what do we have? 7 eggs. 7 eggs go in the box. 2 more eggs. Hold on. We've got 2 or 3, 4. That makes 11. And now we have some knives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knives. 8 knives, 9 knives, 10 knives, 11 knives. 11 eggs, 11 knives. Someone's trying to kill somebody. Razor blades, sorry, pins, needles, not razor blades. 1, 2 razor blades, 3 razor blades, 4 razor blades, 5 razor blades, 6 razor blades, 7 razor blades, 8, still going, 9, 10. We have a box full, a bag full of stuff that looks like, it looks like lentils or some kind of something like that it's buried in. And they're still picking out razor blades to make up 11, and pins. Now they've got 11 pins. So how all the numbers match up together, okay? This is nice and bright, so I hope that this will show relatively well on the screen. They're destroying a ta'weez. Don't worry about not seeing this too much, guys. We will overwrite it on the videos on YouTube. You'll be able to see it very, very clearly, inshaAllah ta'ala. It's nice and clear on the screen. It's just the projector and the light from outside makes it difficult to see. So they're opening up the ta'weez. And all the time they're opening it up, what are they doing? قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ, blowing on it, yeah? All the time. They're opening this pouch up. Many times, they said they couldn't open it up. Many times I've not been able to burn a paper. It will not burn. I doused it in petrol, set it alight, it wouldn't burn. Till you read Al-Falaq and Al-Nas over it, and then it burns. These are little, I think, pieces of paper as he's opening it. What's he going to find inside? Start to see the khatam, the seal of the magician in there. Rope. When there are knots, you must cut the knots. You must open and cut the knots, okay? Each knot, take a razor blade. Get yourself in your ta'weez kit, we're going to talk about the kit that the Raqi has tomorrow. Razor blades. Take a razor blade, cut each individual knot open and blow on it. What's inside? And see all of the writing on there. And that's one ta'weez, that is. This is them washing the soluble ink, saffron ink or whatever it is, sometimes urine. They're washing it in the bowl of water that's been recited upon them. They're going to dry out the paper and they're going to burn the paper. In